Skye, the clock's ticking for Abrego's legal team. We heard that they've now filed this new lawsuit. What options do they have to either block this deportation or at least pause it?
You know, I think they're going to fight on all fronts, as you see, and we are going to have to rely on the courts here. The important thing for every American, though, to understand as we see legal battle after legal battle is this is what happens. This is the calamity that happens when people in this country are deprived of due process. And you have Mr. Garcia being deprived of due process. And then today, when he showed up in order to follow through with process, he, of course, was taken into ICE custody, which is what this administration and what ICE has been doing to individuals who are trying to work within our systems and go through the lawful options that they have. And so this is very concerning, not just for Mr. Garcia and his legal team, but for every single American in this country. And I think you see the American people seeing through what is happening, saying, we are all Kilmar. That's what you heard outside the courthouse steps today.
I want to play more from Abrego's lawyer characterizing this Uganda decision over the weekend. Let's watch.
As Kilmar Abrego Garcia was leaving the jail in Tennessee and was in his car on the way up to Maryland, the government designated Uganda as the country of removal. It is preposterous that they would send him to Africa, to a country where he doesn't even speak the language, a country with documented human rights violations, when there are so many other options. This family suffered enough.
Julia, how is it decided where to send someone? Why is this administration just so eager to send Central American and South American immigrants to Uganda?
Well, we're in uncharted territory here, Anna, both in terms of this case and where it's going, as well as these policies that the Trump administration has put in place to send people who were previously ordered not to be removed to their home countries to third countries. And the first Trump administration, they used countries like Guatemala to take in immigrants from countries who refused to take them back. In this case, Abrego had a 2019 order that he could not be sent back to El Salvador, and they violated that by sending him there in the first place. Now they've made agreements with countries across the world. We know they've reached out to a lot of places actively at war, including Ukraine, to see if they will take back immigrants from the United States who have previously gotten withholding removal orders that don't allow them to be sent back to their home countries out of fear of persecution. Now, because of the Supreme Court and because of lower courts as well, they have to give him 72 hours, or any immigrant who's sent to one of these countries, 72 hours to be able to appeal and say why they can't be sent to that country as well. The same thing happened when they tried to send more people back to Venezuela earlier. They need 72 hours, reasonable time to appeal that. And so in this case, they've chosen Uganda. What this means, though, is that his criminal case, all of these allegations they've brought against him, will possibly never resolve. And so, again, the government's going to have to come back to this position of take us at our word. This is a bad man who you don't want in the United States. The same thing they were saying when he was sent to El Salvador Sikhat prison, without us ever actually getting a jury decision, a judge to weigh in on these criminal allegations, to take a look at the evidence and decide whether or not this man is a criminal or whether or not he deserves to have asylum and stay in the United States. He could be sent to Uganda before that's ever resolved.
Yeah, and I said Uganda. I'm not sure why I said Uganda. I know it's Uganda. Thank you for also saying the right word there. I want to read the statement from the DOJ when sort of challenged on how they gave this guilty plea option, saying if you plead guilty, do time, then get sent to Costa Rica. Otherwise, it's Uganda. And here's the statement from the DOJ. A federal grand jury has charged Abrego Garcia with serious federal crimes, including human trafficking and smuggling offenses, underscoring the clear danger this defendant presents to the community. This defendant can plead guilty and accept responsibility or stand trial before a jury. Skye, that last part there, he's trying to stand trial, but a different federal agency won't let him. Is it normal to deport an immigrant with charges rather than take it to trial?
Exactly. That's the shell game that you see this administration playing. They know it's deeply unpopular with the American people to deprive someone of their day in court. We are innocent until proven guilty in this country, and all people have rights. And so as a result of that, they're saying one thing and doing another. And you hear his lawyers today saying their simple request is that no deportation occur, no third-party country transfer occur until he can have his day in court. That's simply American. It's what we do in this country, and it's this administration that is operating really contrary to our values and our Constitution.
The other thing that's striking here, Julia, is the Uganda government and the agreement with this government is not supposed to cover immigrants with criminal records. So in the administration's own words, shouldn't Abrego be disqualified from going to Uganda?
Right. It's really hard to see how they'll have this both ways. If he is the criminal they say he is, how is this in agreement with that, with what they agreed to with Uganda? Each one of these third country agreements, and there are many of them, are very different. For example, Guatemala says they won't take people back for very long. It should be a stop before they go back to their home countries. Uganda said they didn't want to take people with criminal records. In this case, we haven't seen the conviction of the charges, so possibly that's a workaround. I'm not sure if that was a conversation they had with Uganda. Perhaps there was a carve-out made because he is such an exceptional piece for a piece of the puzzle, really, for the Trump administration as they try to make arguments about why people should be deported without trial. Perhaps there was a conversation there. What we're not clear about is why Uganda, why Abrego in this moment, but it is clear that they seek to deport him rapidly before he can exercise some of those other routes.
Okay, keep us posted. Gary Grumbach, Julia Ainsley, and Skye Perryman, appreciate your reporting and analysis.